right. This week's featured artist, O Worthen. Alright guys, let's get into it. So this is an Air Force One that he did for, the BLM movement. And this one is kind of cool. Not kind of, it's cool. Just based on the concept. This shoe was just more the message of what he is pushing. Yeah, it was inspired by a t-shirt from the 90s, but with the current times now and everything that's going on in the world right now, I thought it was worth pointing out the shoe and who the two individuals on the shoe were, which Malcolm X and Martin Luther King. And I think that aside from just the artwork, I think the fact that there's a message that he wants out there as an artist, as most art does, it's a sign of it reflects the time in which it was, drawn, painted, made, and I think for him, this pair of shoes is a stamp to, the year 2020 and everything beyond that, or past that, I should say, as far as it pertains to, civil rights, racial equality and all that kind of stuff. So, I thought I'd start off with this one just to kind of, just to give you an understanding of what this artist is doing as part of his movement, as part of the BLM movement, and bringing awareness to it. The next pair of shoes we want to highlight for O Worthen is these two shoes. These Air Force Highs. Chucky. You can see all the detail in these, especially the different tones and the wrinkles and the cracks, two-tone shadows, whatever you want to call it, that give it that three-dimensional effect, that give it that realism. But yet, he keeps and he stays true to his style, which is more of a cartoon style, and really knocks it out the park on these pair of shoes with these characters. We can look at the inner side. More faces in there, placement, panels, as you can see, thought out process as to what's going to divide what. But here's a little close-up of it. You can see all the detail work. Look at the teeth. Look at the wrinkles in the nose. The chuckster. These areas here, cuts, wounds. Very detailed. It's a nice pair of shoes. I definitely would rock these. So here we have the Simpsons on some Air Forces. The biggest thing that stands out on these actual shoes is the amount of yellow that's on here, just because it's a very difficult color to get coverage on, and I think he did an excellent job with coverage, and just because of the amount of yellow that's on these actual shoes. And I see these. I don't know if it was intentional, but like if you look at the yellow in the cat's eye, and you look at Homer Simpson's skin color, it's different, and it's pretty damn good. So that's the biggest thing that stands out in these shoes, is just that color being so vibrant. And then you also have like this neon green here from this like slushy thing, that just really pops. So he did a real good job getting the colors to pop, and it's all over the shoes. Here you have Marge, Lisa, the grandpa, just pops. And then, just the attention to detail on, how clean this looks on the edges. There's no paint on the liner on the inside, nice, crisp, clean. Um, the other Simpson shoe we have here is this one, again on some Air Force. A lot of detail, a lot of dark colors. Again, the use of the yellow is still here. The use of the actual swoosh is actually cool. Um, great, great choice. Great, uh, you know, composition, selection of what panels to use for what. Very creative, very, very creative. Next shoe, one of my favorite shoes. Just because I'm a big Toy Story fan, I love all four movies. Um, some more Air Force. As you can see, it's got pretty much every single character covered on the shoe. There goes Forky. This is great work. Great, great work. He stays true to his cartoon style. He doesn't deviate. If we were to look at his page, we can see that this is an O Worthen type project or type work. So much detail into these shoes. Little itsy bitsy pieces that you can see. I'm not too sure personally about the gloss finish on these shoes. I would have probably picked I don't know, more of a satin finish myself, but the fact that it looks good overall. Let me see something here. Yeah, these are just well done, great shoes. The next set of shoes we have here, these, just because my son is a big Spider-Man fan, these Spider-Man Venom ones, man, so much detail in it. Like, look at Venom's teeth. So much detail there. Like, you see this here. So much detail to get these in Spider-Man's face, the amount of detail, everything. There's a lot of detail in the shoes, and it's very cartoon. Like, you can see all this. Look at this. Look at the swoosh here. Look at the swoosh here. Very well thought out. Very well composed. The Goblin. This is great work. Very good work. Artistic. Very artistic. And just because I'm old school, Macho Man, Randy Savage, Hulk Hogan, Jordan 1s. These are just, man, these bring me back to my childhood, and it's crazy that my 7-year-old now is watching, the new WWE stuff, and all these Macho Man and Hulk Hogan are, the legends. It's what I grew up with. So this kind of hits home, which is probably why it's my favorite. But overall, I think he kept, great composition on this Macho Man. I mean, he got the hands in, holding the sunglasses that he was so famous for. Hulk Hogan here ripping his shirt off, and he still captures that, but he still manages to put almost an entire face, and yet get that one signature move for each one, like the whole entire face, but yet still, get that signature move in. I thought it was dope. Same thing with the Ultimate Warrior. I mean, man, he KO'd these. Bret the Hitman Hart. Like, these are all like my favorite wrestlers growing up. All four of these, he just KO'd these. 80s. Yeah, I'm an 80s child. There you go. Um, dope. Putting his little touch to the actual tongue tab on both of them. Now, these by far are my favorite shoes that he's done this far. I know he has a collab that he did with a few other artists that I really like as well. But if I were to go on an individual base, I think this shoe, this pair of shoes is 100% my favorite. 100% well executed, and it's just because I know all these wrestlers from my childhood that I can relate to it. Not taking from the Spiderman set of shoes here. I think the amount of detail on this, the amount of work. I mean, you can see the consistency starting here, like very cartoonish, very cartoonish. This is all his language. This is all his work. You can tell this is his style. This one is by far, I want to say, the one with a message that I understand, which is what it was intended. But overall, if you look at all his shoes, you can tell he has his own style, the O Worthen style. So big ups. I love his work. Great work. And with that, you guys, that concludes this week's featured artist on the wall of hype. As always, a pleasure. And if you know any other artists out there that need or are worthy of some recognition for their art and their hard work, DM us, leave us a comment below, email us, do whatever it takes. Just get to us so that we can put these artists on this platform to get them exposure. All right, guys. Till next week. Peace.